Hey guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive 717 back with another video. I hope you guys are doing incredibly well. Happy Sunday, guys. So I'm on to share a song synchronicity, and it has to do with the masculine collective, and I feel that many of them are feeling the shifts that the feminines are going through. A lot of your masculines are observing you from afar, and they're observing you in silence. Many of them are going through their own spiritual experiences on the twin flame journey, and I think that is why many of you may feel like your masculine is silent. Divine feminines, that this journey is shifting them in ways because they're mimicking the same things that you did early on in your journey, which was isolating yourself from everywhere. It's almost like you don't want to be seen, you don't want to interact with other people, and that's because the energy is really high right now. Many masculines are, and I've shared this in previous community posts, but their spiritual gifts are also developing. They may not recognize or understand that they're spiritual gifts. It may more just feel like feeling isolated away from people that they normally would feel comfortable around, seeing people for what they are, seeing through things more clearly, almost like things are happening in slow motion for the divine masculines, and they're able to just kind of piece things together before time kind of catches up with them in that sense. For the divine feminines, I think that a lot of you are just enjoying your solitude, and many masculines need to hear that, because the message in the song Just Say No was about, this man expressing his need to tell this woman, like, you're going to get all kinds of offers right now, and I just want you to say no. And I think that many masculines are trying their very best to be open about where this is all going with the divine feminine. A lot of them are not in communication with you, and I think that is orchestrated so that many of these masculines can shift out of karmic cycles all by themselves. I think all that needed to be revealed about this twin flame experience, having intimacy with their divine feminines, and the last reading I shared too, where their eyes are opening, now that has been done, I don't think that there's any going back for these divine masculines. So what I'm getting is many of you are experiencing separation right now because you've done what you've needed to do in communication, if that makes sense. And now that you guys are apart right now, trust in divine timing is what I'm getting. And masculines, don't worry about what the feminine is doing right now because I see a lot of masculines just really worried about this energy that they're picking up on, and that is just the divine feminine feeling a lot of freedom. She's in her Empress energy, and yes, of course you guys are getting a lot of offers, and whether it's direct or indirect, many of you are feeling that you're being watched. Everywhere you go, you're attracting eyes, you're attracting different types of interactions and conversations with people. And sometimes divine feminine, you're not actively trying to get out there, it's just these people are being put into your reality, and I sense many of the feminines too are feeling like chemistry with other people, and it's causing this very lighthearted type of flirty energy, and maybe you might be showing that off somehow. There's updated photos of you on social media. Maybe you guys are indulging in self-care a little bit more, and you're coming off as very bright right now, just shining, but it's that energy of just kind of being open. And even though the divine masculines are cheering you on and they also want to be in this place of feeling open, that may be what they're struggling with right now, okay? And I think I share that too, where some of them are struggling with the isolation and the loneliness and missing their divine feminines. The true love card is coming up because that's where they are right now. They're realizing that this is true love, but in the divine masculine's eyes, it's almost like, oh great, I'm noticing a little too late because I don't know how I'm going to interject myself into her life if I'm not ready to make a solid offer, because he senses, divine feminine, that you are okay. It's on the bottom of the card here, it says this is the romance of a lifetime. This is the divine masculine's romance of a lifetime, and he's picking up on this. But I feel like the divine feminine energy is seeing that, she's open to a romance in this lifetime is what I'm getting. And because she's feeling a little bit more open to that, she's attracting it into her reality. And even for myself, there's been time on my journey where I've experienced separation from my divine masculine, and I felt that free-flowing energy of just wanting to get out there. And, I will kind of tippy-toe in the area of like dating again or entertaining, like making new friends. And it's like once you download that dating app, you're just like, okay, delete. I am good with that. And so that's where a lot of divine feminines are too. So don't push yourselves if you're not exactly ready to go experience different romances outside of your twin flame connection. But the energy and the opportunities are certainly there. And I think that feminines are just observing. They are just observing the energy, and almost like they're feeling cheeky about it. They're very amused by it at this time, because they can also sense maybe their masculines are, you know, kind of sitting down at their desks, shaking their legs uncontrollably, just kind of thinking about what the feminine may be up to at this time. So let's go ahead and get some more from the masculines, okay? So forgiving and learning. So releasing and healing past experiences so that you can attract more love into your present moments. If your masculines are silent right now, they are learning to forgive themselves for like shortcomings is the word I hear. And shortcomings I feel is coming up because many of them had a lot of opportunity to be open and honest, and they weren't. And they're learning as to why it is that was. Like, why weren't they able to be open and honest with you, divine feminines? I think many of them are addressing their codependency as well. Let's see what other cards are coming up here. Okay. So keeping an open mind, knowing that your soulmate may differ from your usual type or expectations. So that's maybe why they couldn't speak up, because you didn't exactly fit into their reality, divine feminine. And many divine feminines were aware of this. I feel like you guys knew that you were very different from your masculine, even observing him with his karmic partner. I think, you know, for the divine feminine, it was like in the beginning when your masculine was extremely drawn to you, a lot of you guys didn't even notice because you were like, I'm so not his type. And the karmic partners that your masculines are with, you're like, yeah, that's more their type. So a lot of you didn't really pick up on the fact that your masculine was very, very attracted to you because of the differences between you guys. But it was those exact differences that made them feel like, oh goodness, like, you know, I'm finding my twin flame in this reality. And oftentimes that's what happens with twins. And it's to show you guys that love has nothing to do with like the physical body or any kind of physical manifestation. I always say too on my channel, with twin flames, it's the opposite. It's like you meet and it takes time to fall in love, whereas twin flames fall in love right away and kind of backtrack and try to understand why that connection is there and it's so strong. But it says someone from your past is returning to your life. And many of these masculines do want to come forward, but it's not going to happen until they can work on like approaching the feminine with confidence. And this is going to take forgiving and learning from their past and just constantly growing and moving along on this journey. Many masculines are thinking to themselves that they don't want to reach out because they don't even know divine feminine, if you will, accept their offer, for example, because of a lot of stuff that has gone on, just maybe even like recently within the last couple of months or so between you and your connection. Maybe a lot of ghosting, a lot of you guys returning back to old karmic situations, just a lot of conflict happening right now. And you know, I feel like the universe is presenting trust to the divine masculine, and it's calling for them to have faith. And I think many of them do need to hear too that you know, like your divine feminine is not out there entertaining anything that is going to deceive you or mess with her self-worth or her self-value in any way. And I think that if you are observing your divine feminines being a little bit more open, maybe even flirtatious, just know divine masculines that they worked really hard to even get to that place of putting themselves out there again, because many divine feminines as well realized on this journey that they are very introverted by nature, very empathic by nature. They have to be very careful about the energies that they are around because they absorb it so much. And you, divine masculine, are learning this lesson as well. So I think for both twin flames, there's no need to worry about what the other is doing right now, because I feel that for both of you, like you're getting a lot of messages around the cycles and the push and pull and the separation and the ghosting. And even though it happens and in the moment it seems like you guys will never make your way back to each other, cycles end up shifting and cycles end up coming to an end in your karmic cycles. Or sorry, I don't mean to say cycles so much, but in your karmic like relationships. And what I mean by cycles is like constantly going back and forth to something and hoping it'll just work again, and then the same kind of conflicts end up breaking that tower down again. Vice versa, like even with your feminines, you will see divine masculine, that no matter how much push and pull you guys go through, it'll always come back to this natural feeling of, I just want to be with this person. I want to reconcile with this person because it's what feels like home. And many of you are trusting the energy that your twin flame is bringing to you, and you're trusting the lessons that your karmic relationships are bringing to you. And I think that this time around, the universe is signaling you to say, hey, you're the one that's creating insanity here for yourselves. You're going to have to do something drastic and do something different. And that often, I'm hearing the word subtraction, okay? You are going to have to subtract certain people from your life in order to move forward, because you will see time and time again, it doesn't matter what the situation is, these same energies, these same people are going to come back full swing into your life and teach you the same lesson. It's just going to be in like a different situation or scenario. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. Divine masculines are definitely wanting to come forward and be with their divine feminines. And, right now they are going through it by having to draw boundaries and be honest is what I'm getting most of all with the people in their lives. Even if that means having that, I noticed the Lovers card here, having those like tough conversations with other people, right? Especially with like partners that they're already with, even though they might have a relationship with someone else, there is someone else on their mind. And that's not going away. It's only getting stronger. Okay. And the Lovers card, when twin flames meet, like the Lovers card will always present like duality in your life, having to do the right thing rather than going along with just what everybody expects of you. You have the opportunity in this moment to choose true love, to choose true authentic love. And that's why he's like leaning towards this dark woman here. She's leaning in towards him. And I feel like the other woman here kind of leaning away from them. It's like, passion versus just being comfortable. And that's everyone's choice. There's definitely no judgment. Some people prefer to just be in relationships that are safe and comfortable and stable, and there's no chance of pain or hurt. And, there's those of us who also are in those situations, and there's many moments where it feels very stagnant and slow and boring, and like time is moving so slowly. And, sometimes you do long for this connection with your counterpart. And I think for twin flames too, the more that you guys delve deeper and deeper and deeper into this journey, I think that it's going to cause upheaval and towers will fall, but it'll allow you guys to, again, learn lessons of like forgiving each other and learning and having to keep an open mind on this journey. Because one thing that I feel is keeping you guys apart is like the differences of not fitting into each other's life and having to explain to other people, here's this person that I've kind of kept secret or on the low for the last few years, and I want them to be a part of my life. They're scared of those types of conversations and those towers falling and shifting themselves away from people because of their twin flame. But the universe is saying, hey, it's going to happen anyway. You're going to experience that isolation and that distance and that shifting from other people in your life because of this twin flame dynamic. It's going to happen anyway. So you might as well just do it in a way that's authentic. You might as well come out and say it before people start finding out in ways that are not really what you intended, right? Especially through like impulsivity. Okay, many masculines making impulsive moves because of maybe their obsession towards the divine feminine. Okay, I get that this obsession is coming out, and a lot of masculines are being founded out with their twin flame journey by, again, constantly looking up the divine feminine social media profiles, keeping old photos of her, keeping screenshots of her. These things are coming out into the open, and it's asking questions, it's raising eyebrows, and it's, again, pushing them to be really honest. I feel like the 5 of Wands here is coming up as well to really let the masculines know there's no avoiding the changes and looking at themselves in the mirror and being truthful about what it is they want. The passion with the divine feminine is undying. It'll always be there. And for many of the karmic partners as well who are trying to hold on, I think that eventually it'll come out in the open, where it's like the relationship that you do have with this person is built upon a very weak foundation, and any tower built on a weak foundation is bound to experience a lot of turbulence at times, and a lot of these masculines are the King of Cups, and they want stability with their divine feminines. Many masculines are very emotional as well, and they crave emotional stability in relationships, and I don't feel like they have that. It's very surface level, very contractual is what I get. There's no love. There's a lot of routine. There is a lot of schedules to follow. There's not a lot of time for this masculine to enjoy intimacy with his partner, real intimacy. But every time he's with the divine feminine, it could be something as simple as a conversation or text message between the two, and all of a sudden their day is filled with such warmth. I feel like many of the masculines, when they are in contact with their divine feminine, they don't even need to say much to her for her to know the right words to say, or for her to pick up on what he might be going through energetically. And even though she picks up on it, she will never reveal to him that that's what she's picking up on. She will just say the right words to him, whether it be about his work situation. A lot of you might sometimes be like, well, don't work too hard, and your divine masculine might pick up on the fact that, how did she know that I'm actually working myself down to the bone right now? And that's in the song Synchronicity, Just Say No with Buju Banton and Beres Hammond. He says, I've been working hard all day doing overtime, sweat and strain just to keep you in line. And then he goes on to say, you should have known that I'd never leave you, and that all that's been spreading is rumors. They're going to make you all kinds of offers. Just say no. And this is a masculine who is very much aware of this twin flame connection, and it does cause a lot of emotional disturbance, and they want you to know that, and they are diligently trying to work through the complexities that they feel in order to move towards you, divine feminine. But sometimes they do get caught up in the Five of Wands energy here, which is staying stuck because they're scared of the disruptions that it's going to cause. A lot of them get caught up in the obsession with the divine feminine, watching you from afar, thinking the worst is about to happen in the connection, wondering and obsessing about what it is you're doing, whether you still feel the same way about them. And I feel like the universe is pushing them slowly, and even pushing you, divine feminine, slowly, to just constantly be authentic with each other. Putting the ghosting to an end. If you feel like ghosting your divine masculine, divine feminines, it's better to just let him know how you feel, instead of being afraid to tell him how you feel because you're scared he's going to ghost you if you do, right? And then the cycles just keep repeating. Your King of Cups here at this time is ready for you to express yourself in whatever ways you need to, because he's an emotionally mature man who wants emotional stability in another person. So I feel like this is a message for those of you who might be like itching to message your divine masculine, or just be honest about why you've been distant to divine feminine. And in this moment, I think that there will be a lot of understanding, or your message to him will be received in a way that is more gentle and compassionate. Okay, I hope you guys have enjoyed this reading. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.